mean, our story is not your normal becoming a dad. It was, well, there's no normal becoming a dad, but it was, you know, we couldn't even have kids to begin with. So working to becoming a dad was it was a 5-year process. So just even getting the children was like constant work.
Yeah.
We tried to have them naturally, couldn't do it. Tried IVF, couldn't do it. Tried adoption, it was going to be forever, and then went down the surrogate line and did that. So that was a stressful period unto itself. Plus, at the same time, I'd left the film industry, which, you know, and then I started Mankind. And so I was starting a new business and trying to have children in like a really alternative way. So it was pretty full on. 2008, I think we ended up having our kids. We did have our kids in Montana.
Yeah.
On the other side of the world. Mate, you don't realise until you're going through infertility.
Yeah.
How many people are going through it? And, you know, all the questions that seem very natural to people who've had kids straight away, you know, you're going to have kids, you know, this. You realise there's a lot of people out there who respond to those questions in a very different way because they can't have kids. And I can pick it now. Like, you know, I can see when it's an issue. Whereas a lot of people who just naturally had kids off the bat, they don't really get it. They don't really see it. And it's easy to be insensitive, not to any, just because they don't know. But when you've been through it, you know what's going on. Well, because we knew we wanted kids, and Kath and I had probably been together, I think, a year, and then we knew that we wanted to have kids, wanted to get married. We bought a house together. We were going down that line. It only took us a year to work that out. We were both at the age where we knew it was time. You know, like, you know, okay, let's get onto it straight away. And so we did. And then, you know, things weren't working. It didn't seem to be, there was nothing. I mean, my wife's very organised, and she was like, you know, this is not happening. Let's go see what's going on. Of course, she was smart. So we did that. When, you know, found out that it wasn't going to happen. So, well, it was never known that it wasn't going to happen, but there were limiting circumstances, basically because we were both in the upper 30s. So, which is, most people don't realise, once you reach 35 and after 35, it really gets tough for most people to have kids. Anyway, so we sort of steeled ourselves. We were like, okay, we'll try this, we'll try that. We tried a whole lot of things. And for me, I was breaking away from an industry that I've been in for 12 years. And I was also, you know, trying to deal with something that you have no control over as well. So we're going to an industry I have no control over, plus because I've never done it before. And then I'm going into something which is, you know, and it doesn't even matter if you're having them naturally or whatever, you've got no control over it. You don't know when it's going to happen, what's going to go on. But when you were up against the odds, and so it was like, fuck, this is going to be hard work. And it was hard work. It was 5 years of intense hard work. Of arguments, of consoling, of just different moments where it was just like, this is not going to happen. It'll happen. I'm a pretty positive person, like I'm really positive. So I always thought, yeah, it'll just happen. It will happen. It may take a long time, but it will happen. But there were times where I just thought, you know what? I actually can't control this. This is something I can't deal with, and it may not happen. And so I wrapped myself around the idea of not having kids, and I'd also wrap myself around the idea of having kids that weren't my own.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty tough to deal with. But, you know, it was tough to deal with, but it's also, once you realise it doesn't really matter, that sort of becomes a bit easier.